Hey guys, this is Don from mobiledom.co.uk, and today there was two keynotes. There was the Motorola Big Innovation Keynote, which I will put a link to that video here, and this video is dedicated to the Blackberry DevCon 2012 keynote. And if you see me looking down, I've got my notes here because there was rather a lot to talk about. And this was about software. There was no hardware really shown here at all. I mean, they showed the playbook, the tablet running the second version of its OS, which they promptly called Playbook OS 2.0. They announced, their new operating system that'll be on tablets, phones, and embedded media. I'm not sure what embedded media means. I'm not sure if it means RIM are going to start making MP3 players. I don't know, or TVs, or like stuff. But that's going to be called BBX, and it's spelled BBX, and it's said like that, not BB10 like Roman numerals. So, that actually got me out the first time. I was like BB10, but they've missed out like 8 and 9. But no, yeah, it's it's BBX. So, but they first off they started saying sorry for the outages of the BlackBerry services. Yay, BlackBerry's back. They apologised for the outages earlier in the was it this week or last week? Whatever, because that was nearly worldwide. And I think they started off with this, and they said, "We apologise to all 50 million BBM users worldwide." And I think they just wanted to say 50 million BBM users worldwide, and there's 70 million BlackBerry users, not just BBM users, just BlackBerry users. So there's 20 million people that own Blackberries that don't use BBM. Wow. Okay. But that's crazy. But yeah, they were really sorry about the outages, and what they said is they're going to give everyone who's got a valid BlackBerry ID $100 worth of free apps, $100 worth of apps from the App Store. And I think that's it. They said that's rolling out tomorrow, October 19th, or technically now. Where I am in the UK, it's 1:13 AM. I'm trying to stay up for the Samsung keynote, which is at 3 AM where I am. So got my coffee. Go back to this. They kept going. They're really bad numbers. They really are. 50 million BBM users, 80% increase year in a single year. There's 70 million BlackBerry users. 165 million BlackBerry smartphones have been sold. They said the app world has had over 1 billion downloads. That's billion with a B. It's had over 1 billion downloads, and there's between 4 to 5 million downloads each day. And when you think they've probably got, I think they've got less than 30,000 apps. So there's less than 30,000 apps, but there's been nearly 5 million downloads a day. Okay. And RIM is very happy with the launch of BlackBerry OS 7 and all the devices that launched with it. So that's the 9900, the 9850, and 9860, which is the torches. There is the 9810, which is the torch, the sliding torch, and the curve 9360. Oh, and also, this is something that makes me really want to go to DevCon. They gave out free playbooks to everyone at DevCon. I'm not sure how many people were there, so it might not have been that many, but everyone who went DevCon got a free playbook, and it's been loaded with the Playbook OS 2.0. So lucky them. This is not fair. I want a playbook, so I don't have money. Anyway, yeah, then they started going on like BBX. They said it's going to run on phones, tablets, and embedded devices. It has native multi-core support, which is what you saw on the playbook. Obviously, it has a dual-core TIO Map 4 processor. And they also said the playbook is the first tablet certified for government use. So I'm not sure if that's because it's so configurable, so they can like basically lock down everything, or that's just how secure it is, like from the ground up it's been built that solid. So, but they said it's the first tablet that's ever been certified for government use. So yo Obama, get a playbook. You got a Blackberry already, so they showed some games. They had Dead Space 2 and it looked freaking awesome on the playbook. They showed like Let's Golf and like Need for Speed, and they were saying you can build apps and games, but you can build them in the native playbook code. And sorry, I need to get a drink. They said you can build apps using the native playbook code, and it will be brilliant, like unbelievable. And I believe that because on the OS2 they've got really good hardware acceleration. Or you can build in HTML5 for compatibility, which means it will work, but it won't be outstanding. So you can convert your apps to HTML5 and they will work on the playbook. They'll work just fine, but that'll be it. They'll work just fine. They're not going to be like, oh my god, I ditched my iPad for this. There's not going to be like GarageBand quality apps, but hey. HTML5. They said HTML5 is a bridge between BlackBerry OS 6, OS 7, and the BBX platform. And I've just written a couple times. I have to say BBX looks pretty sweet on the playbook. I mean, at this point they hadn't called it anything, so I just ended up calling it BBX. But I think at the end they called it the playbook OS 2.0. So I don't think BBX has been properly rolled out yet. So so I'll change that to. I have to say, Playbook OS 2.0 looks actually really good. It's really fast. The interface isn't like mind-numbingly different. It is different. The tabs that you swipe through aren't as they're very slight visual changes. They don't have the names anymore. They're just little dots that you just swipe through. And like making a folder is very much like it is in iOS. You hold it down, instead of them jiggling, they sort of like pulse. They go like that. Like they're breathing again, bigger and then go smaller again. So instead of jiggling like that, they go. And then so then you can tap and hold. They start breathing, and then you drag on top of each other, and they turn into a folder. It brings up the on-screen keyboard, and you can type a name for the folder, and then it can go. Then that goes into a folder. You can hold it. They start breathing. You can just drag it from page to page, so you can do stuff like that. Another note, like 3D games look really smooth. Like I said, Dead Space 2 was amazing. Like, I've seen a playbook and it was fast, but some of the games just looked a bit lacking. So, I've written like, contrary to popular rumours, BBX will work with Enterprise. Yeah, I remember when the rumours started coming out about the Blackberry Colt, which is apparently RIM's first BBX smartphone, is that it won't have BBM or Enterprise support because they couldn't get it to work properly. And they've just said, they said during the keynote that it will have full Enterprise support. Sorry, my throat is really dry. Yeah, see, look, I've got to try and like summarise all of that, and then I've got like another page. So I'm going to try not make this video too long. I made the other one like nearly half an hour long. I've got more notes for this, so I think I might just cut a few out. After they were talking about sorry, after they was talking about the BBX, sorry, on Enterprise, they brought in Alan Panizik, I think his name is, of the Vice President of RIM's Enterprise Division, which he just said CIOs all about having their data protected, and I think everybody in business wants their data protected. I think even people who don't who aren't really that in business want their data protected. I mean, I don't think I want people going through my BlackBerry and reading my BBMs or my texts or my emails, which is why I've got a lock on my phone, and I've also got, if someone gets through that, I've got a password on my BBM and my emails. So then he started saying about like a new thing called BlackBerry Balance, which is basically what it says, is like balance between enterprise and consumer. I think the way they simplified it was making it easy enough for the end user, but with enough power and control for enterprise. So the end user can just use it out of the box straight away, but it's got enough power, and you can restrict it enough, like in enterprise, that you say, oh, well, fine, you boot it up, and you can only go on the browser and calendar. That's it. It can go both ways, but if you don't want to, you can just leave it and it works fine. So BlackBerry Balance. Obviously, they showed Balance on the playbook. So, they didn't show it, but they talked about it, and they said Balance is coming to the playbook on OS 2.0. So that should be going. And when they were going about this, they said this is still Alan Panazik, and he was saying there's going to be a more corporate and like enterprise friendly part of App World. It's under a tab called Work, and it's sort of like your App World's got schizophrenia, because you've got your apps and then you've got your work apps, and you can update your apps and you can only update your work apps. You can't. I don't think you can update both at the same time, because like you've got two different accounts on there. So hopefully I'm wrong, and there's an update all button, like, and you can just merge both accounts. But it's just under a different tab, and it's corporate ready, and there's all vetted apps that are perfect for, and like, what they think will be good for enterprise. Oh, this is what I think is quite cool. They got the guys from Citrix, you know, the people that make like GoToExpress, GoToMeeting, and all that. They've got them out, and I've written Citrix dude pulls a playbook out of his pocket, and literally what they did, he walked on stage, he looked around, he pulled the BlackBerry playbook out of his pocket, and I think he said, you can't do that with the other guy, which obviously is snipe at the iPad, saying, oh yeah, it's a lot bigger than it, you can't fit it in a pocket, it's not very portable. So, but I like the way he just pulls a playbook out of his pocket, and he goes, oh, you can't do that with the other guy, psh. And this is a really good snipe at Apple, so I quite like that. And I can't remember where it was, I think it was on Twitter, and someone just said, having Citrix on your playbook is all you need. You don't need to have a Windows tablet, because Citrix on the playbook was fine. I don't think that's entirely true. I mean, who wants a Windows tablet anyway? I mean, not a Windows 7 one. Windows 8 might be different. But Citrix receiver works incredibly well on the playbook. If you have to, I would much rather have Citrix on my playbook and have it on a smaller screen than have a similar application on my on an iPad if I had one, or on an Android device. So it really does work that way. I mean, like, it was working flawlessly, and then when you swiped up from the playbook to go into multitasking, the playbook still worked really fine, like it was just opening a calendar app or something like that. It didn't seem like it was like basically running a VM. So that just proves how powerful it is. So and they, as well as like really hammering in numbers, they kept trying to say, oh, we're still very committed to the playbook. I mean, we know there's been rumours of what we're going to give up, but no, we're sticking with the playbook. We really like it. We think it's really cool. I reckon it is. Yeah, I reckon it's really cool. We like it. Yeah, but no. And then they said like they've sold 150 million playbooks. I mean, and that sounds a lot, but when you think about it, in the long term, that's like nothing. So I think they're saying like, yeah, they said 150 million playbooks have been sold already. Sorry. Lost where I was on my notes. They said like, and then they started going on to App World, because obviously they were like from, don't worry. They was going into App World, and they was saying like it now supports 26 different currencies, so all around the world. And they do stuff now that I thought they already did, so I was obviously wrong. They now do in-app billing, in-app ads, and now rolling out even more BBM connected apps. So apps that I think the only ones I had at the moment when I last checked, they were like Scrabble apps, or like games like Hangman like that, and they had like BBM functionality, then they weren't really games I'd play with my friends. So cool like that, yeah. And they say that credit cards and PayPal are now accepted as purchase methods, which, like I said, I already thought they did. They're rolling out the app world in more than 130 countries. And like I said, they said this at the beginning, and they said it again. It's like there's been over 1 billion apps downloaded, and there's 140 million apps downloaded each month, and that's quite impressive. Well, like I said, an application store that has less than 30,000 apps. This is quite interesting. They said the average BlackBerry app generates 43% more daily download than its iOS counterpart, and 48% more than its Android combatant. So it's like there's nearly like 50% more downloads on BBM on the BlackBerry than there is on an Android on a similar app. So that just felt strange to me. Obviously they didn't lie, but it didn't seem right to me. So yeah, BlackBerry OS 7 apps generate 11 times more cash per user than OS 5 and OS 6. So I'm not sure if that means it's better for RIM or it's better for you, but I reckon it means like better for RIM, because they make 11 times more cash out of you. So they were saying like everything you build on BBX will run on everything we offer in the marketplace, which is what Mike Lazaridis said. He came back on stage. Yeah, now they came up with Blackberry Jam, which is like their new developer programs. So everything was a bit scattered in the past, and they just decided to try and put it all under one thing. They tried to put it all under Blackberry Jam. So you got Jam, you got Zone, Community, and Sessions. So Zone is I can't remember what Zone is now. Oh, that's depressing. I don't seem to have written it in my notes. Oh no, here's Zone lets you repackage Android apps as playbook apps. So if you've got Angry Birds on Android and you're the developer, you're Rovio, you can go to Blackberry Jam, submit it, take it apart, and repackage it as a playbook compatible app, and then upload it to the app world for submission. And then maybe if it gets submitted, you can play Angry Birds on your playbook, or there's also the Android player, but I'm not going to get into that. The Blackberry Jam Communities is the new name for the developer forums, so that's nothing really new. They didn't say what Sessions was, so I'm just going to skip that. And this is nice. They said RIM said they're listening to developers. They really are. And I thought, that's nice to hear, because there's content that's like, what do they do? But obviously, without developers, platforms fail. I mean, that's why WebOS failed, which is I'm quite sad, because look, my pre is now dead. No apps. I mean, I think there's more homebrew apps in freeware than there is in the actual app catalog. They're saying like BlackBerry open source initiative expanding new libraries for BBX, the physics engines, the scripting languages, and the games frameworks. They're just making like they're making developing for it even easier. So that's pretty cool. They're saying like something called Marmalade, which I thought it was a games engine at first, because obviously I was reading off a live blog. I wasn't watching it live. I thought it was a games engine, but it's not. It's a cross-platform SDK that it sort of does what Blackberry Jam Zones does. What is it? It's a cross-platform SDK that lets the developer port apps from say Android or iOS to BBX, which I think is pretty cool. And then they started going on about BlackBerry BBM social winners. The biggest developer group for BlackBerry is in Argentina, and it constantly has at least 369 developers. I don't know if that's a lot or anything. I'm not a developer. I'd like to be. Then they had an Adobe representative on called Danny Winokur. What a cool name. And he said Flash on the playbook is the best implementation on any mobile device. And from what I've seen, like in the browser, Flash is very good on the playbook, and that's probably one of the only things it really has going for it, because it hasn't got that many apps. The version 1 of the OS is rather buggy. It had probably one of the worst launches I've ever seen. So they're saying like Flash 11 and Adobe Air 3 are coming to the playbook very soon, and they said it's even coming to the playbook OS 2 developer beta, which is being shipped on the free playbooks that they got. And they said along with the free with the Air and 3, the developer preview is also going to get Adobe Flash Builder 4.5 for free. I don't know how much that costs in real life, but hey, you get it for free. And then they started going back to upmarket again. They said BlackBerry AppWorld is more profitable than the Android market. And I've written, yeah, because most of your apps cost and most of Androids don't. I mean, the amount of free applications in the Android market is astonishing. Like, I think it's something like 60-40, like 60 free, 40 paid. I think it's probably something like 80-20, like 80 paid, 20 free. If it's probably not even, it's probably worse than that. It's probably like 87-13, so you never know. And then they started going like Mythbusters and like Fact and Fiction. They said myth, BlackBerry market share is not shrinking. BlackBerry market share is shrinking. That's a myth. They said 20 million users from last year, so they're up. Like from last year, they're up 20 million users. That's not bad. 20 million users in a year is pretty cool. Fiction, BlackBerry users don't use apps. Fact, 4 to 5 million downloads each day from the app world, which is true. Myth, BlackBerry developers don't make money. BB App World has more paid downloads than Android has, like I said before. That's because most of Androids are free, or they literally have free trials. And then they said something which I've really caught my eye. It said 13% of BlackBerry App World developers have made over $100,000. I mean, I don't know how many BlackBerry developers there are, but $100,000 is a lot of money. That's like 50 grand over here, or probably about 63 grand or something like that. But still. Fiction, it's too hard to write for BlackBerry OS, and I think the only rebuttal was, no, it's not that hard at all, really. Then they said, RIM said, we do understand the developer confusion. What do you write for, native or HTML5? And I was like, whew. For a minute there, I thought you forgot we were getting confused. That's why there's so many apps in your app world. Because it's so easy to write for Blackberries, it's crazy. Then they went on to say they were sorry for the confusion, and then they said they were sorry again for the outages. And the last thing they said was anything you write for BBX will work on phones, tablets, and embedded media. And the last thing I have on my notes is that is all. No BBX phones. Sad face. Yeah, there was no BBX phones, there was no cult, there was no anything. Yep, that was the Blackberry DevCon 2011 keynote. This is Don from Melbourne signing off, and there will be the Samsung and Google CTIA, no, not CTIA, there'll be the Samsung and Google keynote probably posted in the morning. The keynote where I am will be at 3 AM, it's now 1:30 AM. So I've got like another hour and a half to do something and not sleep for however long the keynote is. Then I have to write notes, I have to type it up again, then I have to record this video, edit it, and then upload it. So like I said, until next time, guys.